all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
Well, good morning, Sigma Race fans. We come at you live here today, this morning, from Talladega Superspeedway. Chase race number 2 of our Bridge to Cup, full Cinda Cup Championship battle here. And a big bonus goes to the guy that gets the pole position each week. Sebastian Galloway Jr. gets pole here at Talladega, gets those 3 bonus points. And as you're going to see now on the bottom ticker, points live as they run right now. Sebastian Galloway still sitting 3rd, qualified 1st, but the rest of the lineup as they are slotted into the field here kind of shakes things up a little bit. With Talladega, we probably will try to only do probably more intermittent updates on the live points, because it is going to be a revolving door of passes being made left and right here at Talladega, so it's going to be hard to keep up with all of that scoring. So we might just wait till caution periods or pit stops, or maybe quarter mark the race, half mark, 3rd quarter, and going on from there. So, but to no further ado, let us get through the starting lineup here in today's Shake and Bake 319 from Talladega. Starting on the front row, pole sitter Sebastian Galloway Jr. alongside your points leader, Cannon Gage. Next row back, you have Billy Lovejoy and Snake Plissken, Ralph Oberstadt and Alex Sanvital, followed by Santi Messi and Jonah Burridge. Messi riding off of a win from the last race. See if he can carry that momentum into Talladega here. Ryan Little and Eli the Wolf, followed by Chase Kovacic and Kat Durham. Joey Johnson and Cam Jordan, Campbell Marsh and Finley Herwig, Lefty Turner and Alan Malcolm, Shy Turtle and Jason So, Andrew Moger and Justin Day2 with Kyler Sestre and Krista Cower, Jack Davis and Jeffrey Gerald, Timothy Buchanan and Silent Amethyst with Trevor Vaden, Sarah Taylor, Ryan White, Adam Starr, Tim Morse and Davian West rounding out the field here. 123 laps of racing here at Talladega.
Still got a good copy on the gunner. Cool. It's a little hard when it comes onto the front set to the nowhere down pit road.
Alrighty, well, we're getting 2 of the probably the more wild card races out of the way early in this chase, as Talladega could be a pivotal moment to decide who gets to move up and who falls backwards in this championship chase. And so today they're going to be looking for another race win that they can add to their name, get those precious points that would lock them into a better cushion for the title. Already off to the early lead there, you got Sebastian from pole position, building a 2-car inside lane breakaway there at the moment. Following back there, you got Ralph Oberstadt on the inside line in 3rd, as Cannon Gage getting a little bit longer to get up to speed here for the number 2. Stuck on the high side, falling backwards. He's all the way back to about 6th now without much draft help to get him up there. Here we go. Here comes Santi Messi, winner from Meridian. So yeah, I'll update the points if there is any big like maybe a big wreck or something that sets people in the back so that we can see what that looks like. But basically what you're going to be seeing on the ticker there is where they qualified here today, and that'll keep the points rolling based on where they qualified, as the live points is going to be a little bit harder for me to keep up with here. I might pick a certain lap, and do an update, and then go maybe like 25, 50, 75, 100. But meanwhile, leading laps here up front, it is the number 95, Sebastian Galloway Jr. Those are bonus points to his name, and would officially be led most laps if he stays up here and leads all day long. He's definitely got some competition now in the background. That is the 82 of Joey Johnson. Your entire title contention there in the top 8, it looks like. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them in the top 6, and then a few more back there in the top 10 to make out probably about 7 of the top 10 are all title contenders here out of our 12 contenders for full Cinda Cup chase. At EA Sports, number 95, Pontiac for Blackstorm Motorsports, has not yet won a race, and I'm going to be called out for jinxing it once again. But getting pole position here today, leading the race, as we've kind of figured out in Sigma racing. Doesn't matter if it's Bridge to Cup or Cup. Winning from pole position is not always the easiest accomplishment. And look at this, Campbell Marsh, we know that he's really good at these super speedways, and this may have been the one track that he had circled in the chase, knowing that he could make up some big points and maybe try to work his way into title conversation. Well, top 5 here, him and Cam Jordan both are tail end of the points. 11th and 12th in the points, and they're currently running 3rd and 4th here at our lone super speedway in the chase. So keep an eye on them. And there you've got some kind of fun names in the top 10. I see Cam Jordan, I see Timothy Buchanan, Billy Lovejoy. We know that he can get the job done. He's won in the trucks this season. Could he get a win in Bridge to Cup before the end of this year? Yeah, single file. This does not happen very often at Talladega. I'm surprised that we're getting singled out here this early. It looks like there's a breakaway. Cam Jordan wants to go down. 28 of Lovejoy is going to follow with him, and that could get the 25 of Cam Jordan shuffled out here. Yeah, this is some actually more realistic super speedway racing. I was afraid we were going to get the conveyor belt theory here today, but it looks like we might be treated to a good super speedway race here today at Talladega. That big one lurking in the background. You never know which driver's going to get tangled up in the big one here today, and hopefully it's none of your title contenders, because that would really hurt. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and update points as they run right now, because we've actually got a decent window here to do something with. Snake Plissken has fallen back to 14th at the moment, so not perfect by any means. Cannon Gage has fallen back to 10th from the front row start. Joey Johnson is up to 2nd from 13th, so he's already gained 11 spots here today. Shy Turtle in 15th, he's gained about 4. Santi Messi is currently running outside. What happened to Santi Messi? 13th. And Ralph Oberstadt, man, it's Feast or famine for him. He's all the way back to 25th early here today at Talladega. Lefty Turner is running 6th. Krista Cower is running 14th. Chase Kovacic in the top 10 with an 8th at the moment. Campbell Marsh up to 7th. And Cam Jordan running in 3rd. While that was going down, we did have another position change there. The 85's making some moves, getting up into the top 5. So points as they run. Galloway has a 4-point lead over Cannon Gage. 7-point lead over Snake Plissken. Joey Johnson sits in 4th. The big difference here, though, I think, is going to be how tight the bottom gets. As you can see, Campbell Marsh, he's starting to close in on 10th, and even Cam Jordan, who is the furthest out of contention, might be within might be within range of the top 10 here before long. I'm impressed. Eli the Wolf having a good run. We know that he's got these super speedways figured out. He's kind of one of the kind of like a Harrison Burton situation. Might not be good anywhere else, but for whatever reason comes to Daytona, Talladega, super speedways and whatnot, and figures it out, puts on a good showing. So that 00, it may be the might be the moment they can get a big win to help boost that team's actual stats and analysis and stuff. 3 wide now we're getting. Timothy Buchanan stuck on the high side here. The 82 gets shuffled way high. On the move, the 65 now up to 2nd. Cannon Gage moving into the picture as well. Getting good. So Sebastian doing what he must to hold the points lead here today, with the lead leading most laps so far. Pole position would be pretty wild. Alan Malcolm, who is not a title contender, and even Finley Herwig, who's not in title contention, but both of which would like to try and rack up another win before the end of the year. Alan Malcolm winless this season in all forms of Sigma, and Finley winner in the Cup Series this year, but still winless here in Bridge to Cup. And Ralph Oberstadt's on the move. He's up to 16th now. Chase Kovacic falls all the way back to 27th. So 27th is the furthest back of our title contenders, with Chase Kovacic way back there. Alan Malcolm dips down low. Your lead's getting interesting here. Finley gets stuck up in the middle groove there. And your lead pack getting a little bit destabilized there. I think someone had to pull off to the pits. What was that for? Fuel leak by the 41. Wow, from the top, running in the top 10 there, to having to pull off with a fuel leak is pretty crazy. It's amazing we didn't get a stack up there. Wow, look at that. Ralph Oberstadt in the number 3 machine here. The Cadillac, he has climbed his way up into the top 5. That is very Dale Sr.-esque to make some big ground up in the middle of this run here. So let's see where the pit windows line up here today at Talladega. 36 laps. So we'll be looking at about lap 30 to 32 once they start deciding to pit here. Makes this almost a true 2-3 stop race. Sebastian is dominating though. Big point stay on the line here for that 95 team. How about some of the names like Timothy Buchanan, Eli the Wolf, Cat Durham, all up in the top 15, top 20. Mixing it up with your title contenders, trying to spoil the party a little bit. And after today's race, this will kind of mark our the end of our streaming week here, as I'm going to be busy hanging out with family over the weekend here. So it's been a jam-packed week of racing from Monday to Friday here, and we have been treated to some excellent races here in the Sigma Racing Series between Cup and now the full Cinda Cup chase for Bridge to Cup. Yesterday at Meridian was awesome. There's some little bit of bugs in the race, but other than that, once we got past the bugs, they actually were able to race forward at the end there and fully earn the race win to get the get it under their belt. Look at that, Joey Johnson making a move for second. That could be huge in the points, as we know he's only 7 points behind Sebastian at the moment. For Sebastian, his the big difference is the fact that he we're gonna have to DQ Kyler Sustre. He's so far back. Fuel leak for the 41 of Alex Sanvital. You'll notice he's 4 laps down, but they must still be trying to get it fixed because it doesn't say that he's retired yet. Well, while we are heading towards lap 20 here, let's go ahead and update the rest of the points as they run. Cannon Gage has fallen back a little bit more to 14th. Wow, the 82 gets way out of line, gets shuffled backwards there outside the top 10. Big drop in the points as they run right there on lap 20. So now Joey Johnson is actually 14th. Holy cow. Cannon Gage moves himself up to 10th. Snake Plissken is up to 7th. Shy Turtle running in 13th. Santi Messi is 11th. Ralph Oberstadt in 9th. Lefty Turner is 6th. Krista Cower is 5th. Kovacic in 22nd. Campbell Marsh running in 13th. Cam Jordan running in 8th. Wow. So Sebastian Guaranteed still has that points lead right now. No wait, Snake Plissken moving up into the top 10 gives him a 3-point lead over Sebastian Galloway. And look who's up to third now even. It's getting pretty crazy as some big names. I mean, the points are changing on a dime here. I tried to update that. So basically, Snake Plissken is your points leader anywhere in the top 5 here. A lot of movement, a lot of fluctuation, but for some reason, Sebastian's still able to hold stout with that race lead here. He's not been able to falter or give it up yet. 3x3 they roll in the mid-pack there. This is a very unusual circumstances. Usually we've got at least several lead changes by now. So Talladega, I think they did their homework here. And they're out there putting on a clinic here today at Talladega. Some great racing. Some big moments in the points conversation. These drivers, they know what's up. Three wide here for third place. Cat Durham, Finley Herwig, and the 28 there, Billy Lovejoy, gets shuffled out of it. That Snake Plissken was up there briefly, and now he's all the way back outside the top 10 again. How about that? Ryan Little in the top 5. That could be a game-changing win here. Some of these names, dude, I'm telling you, it's ripe for the picking when you come to Talladega. There's a reason why drivers like Cletus McFarland could have almost won this race earlier this year in the ARCA series, because Talladega, the great equalizer. You can get someone with little to no skills on racing in motorsports, give them a ride, and they could somehow show up and almost win without much knowledge of the race car itself. So, standard Sigma protocol, if we have a long run here, get green flag pit stops, we will throw comp caution and get everyone stacked back up after pit stops. So, pretty standard fare when it comes to a super speedway such as Talladega. And we try to get everyone bunched back up, back on the lead lap together, and fighting for the race win. Hell yeah. No, that was a cool moment. I remember reading about it. You know, I was hoping Cletus could get a win, but at the same time, the pizza man got it. You know, I'm not gonna lift until I see God or the checkered flag, is a quote from him. I think it was probably at Daytona a couple years ago. I can't remember how to pronounce his name, but yeah, that ARCA driver is pretty dope. Maybe a good omen for Cannon Gage riding the Chili's Ride the Dente. We know that the last time this scheme ran at Talladega in real life, it was a very, very successful run at Talladega. And so maybe, just maybe, he can harness a little bit of his inner Carson Hocevar there, the number 2 Ride the Dente Dodge Charger. Have a good finish here today with the Shake and Bake 319 for Sigma Bridge to Cup. I'm impressed with the consistency of leading laps here. Sebastian doing something we have not seen him do before, leading most laps right out of the gate from pole position. This is an arm wrestle, big strong arm battle here. 95 wants to earn this title. I know that he was kind of suggesting he wanted to win the championship without a race win, but Nothing says max points could still be on the table with a second place finish. Well, maybe you're inner Dale Earnhardt Sr. too, because yeah, it's got throwback vibes to Dale Earnhardt Sr. too, of course. Dale Sr. drove the number 2 at one time in his career. I know that. Drove the number 77 as well, and of course the number 3, which was his most famous number combination. There we go, 3 wide for second place. That's the 65 Cam Jordan, who just won earlier this year at Ricky Raceway against all odds. He made this chase because of his race win at the Superspeedways. So look at that. How about the number 65 of Cam Jordan trying to defy odds here today at Talladega? Well, as the points got updated there, everything changed once again. So I'm just showing you where it was on that one lap in particular, because Snake Plissken in running 7th, that put him back 3 points ahead of Sebastian Galloway Jr. Snake and Sebastian and Cannon Gage, your top 3. Damn, that's baller. My one invitation to join a race team on pits one day never came to fruition, as it was an ARCA West team, and I was on the phone with their owner. And I could share this story. I didn't want to share the story at first because I was like, man, I don't want to spoil my opportunity, but it never happened. And so now it's just a story to tell, you know. Jan's racing team that they host in the ARCA series, the ARCA West and the ARCA International, the main ARCA branch as well. I ended up winning a giveaway for a free hat, and so I, you know, was waiting and waiting. It happened about 2 years ago. Yeah, it's a year plus now, as I never did get the free hat. I kept contacting them back on Instagram where I won the giveaway, and I was starting to feel bad because I kept bothering them, and it's like, man, they're a race team. I'm sure they're busy. I'm sure there's a reason. So I kept messaging them, DMing them on Instagram, and finally he's like, hey, you know, here's my number. Let's get in contact. So they called me. And the team owner, Jan, the team owner, they got him on the line to talk with me, and he was trying to sell me on all these big, exciting, lavish deals, like trying to get me in pit road, pit crew for the race at my home track, Tri-City Raceway. And I was like, cool, I still want my free hat. I mean, you're trying to add all these specialty deals on. It's like, all I'm really wanting is the free hat, and I still haven't got that free hat. And so once it came down to that ARCA race, the Greg Biffle Memorial ARCA West race at Tri-City Raceway, still hadn't got a call back, still hadn't got any information on a free hat that I still never received. And so once race day came, nothing. I never got a call, never got a free hat. I just stopped bothering them because I felt like, it's like, you know, it's not my fault that you guys ran a giveaway and failed to give away the actual, you know, product that you were gonna give a person. And so it's like, at that point I was like, yeah, no, screw it. It's not worth it for a free hat. At the end of it all, that ARCA West race, I went down on the racetrack for Fan Fest that day, and they were handing out hats anyways. So it was like, I still got a free hat out of the deal. But I didn't get the original free hat that was signed by the guy that won the first ARCA race that he went and ran. So, well, I've got his main number. I mean, I've got a ARCA West team owner's phone number, so I can contact him anytime I want. But that seems low-key stalkery, so I ain't gonna do that. Okay, we are throwing our comp caution right here. So good luck. Hopefully you get to enjoy that experience with Alpha Prime. That would be awesome. Hopefully they have a good race with the Bristol race too. Tonight, so awesome. Casey Klein from my home state of Washington. Actually from the same region of Washington that I grew up in. Just 30 minutes from my hometown. He's going to be racing in the Craftsman Truck Series again here at Richmond tonight. So root on our local guy, local to the Sigma server. Huh? Triple dippers with a mill. Man, I would be set for life. I could just be on hot dial with Chili's at that point. Too bad I don't have a Chili's close by. The only thing I've got is an Applebee's, so I guess Mike Harmon will be sitting outside ready for a fight, you know? Okay, well, now we've got some shakeup. Points leaders, new points leaders. Santi Messi up at the front now, followed by Joey Johnson as well with the lap lead. And Ryan Little, but he's not a chase contender. So, under caution here, let's get those points resituated here. Currently running 19th is Snake Plissken. Cannon Gage running in 20th. Sebastian has fallen back to 3rd. Joey Johnson in 2nd. Shy Turtle running in 10th. Oh, wow, we got a pit stop here. Everyone's pitting. I'm surprised. Santi Messi. I guess I'm going to have to wait to score those points once again once they get through pit stops here. They just got to make it hard for me, don't they? Some folks decide to stay out. Looks like the 82 of Joey Johnson, the 1 of Lefty Turner, 65 of Cam Jordan, and the 81 of Snake Plissken. So 4 of your title contenders. Yeah, my claim to fame is ARCA West team owner, I guess. That, if the opportunity was there, that would have been the opportunity of a lifetime to get to work on the pit crew with them, go out there. I've always wished I could get that opportunity, and I think the worst part was getting my hopes up for something that was like, man, this is cool. Maybe it could happen. I didn't expect it because I was already kind of skeptical at first. I was like, well, if you give me a free hat, then I'll believe everything you say. But at that point, I never got my free hat, so I was like, well, can I trust a statement from them at all? It's like the turmoil did not outweigh the the physical trauma of it. It was easy. I could kind of get over it, but it still sucked. Still, it was a experience I wish I could have had a redo on or something. Get that experience for real instead of hanging out there like a carrot on a stick. Okay, so pit stops, and let's see where everyone shakes out now. Wow, Cannon Gage falls back to 26th. He's going to be way at the back of the field. Sebastian in 5th. Joey Johnson running up front leading. 17th for Ralph Oberstadt. Lefty Turner is up to 2nd. Krista Cower in 6th. Chase Kovacic in 18th. Campbell Marsh running in 25th. And Cam Jordan running in 3rd. Points should be updated now on the bottom. Look at that. Even Cam Jordan starting to reel in. Campbell Marsh for 11th and 12th in the points there. A little bit of a shake up there. 19-point lead for Snake Plissken as Sebastian falls back to 5th. And Cannon Gage 3rd. 23rd on the racetrack at the moment. Oh, don't even get me started on how when you go to get food pickup and you get shafted without actually getting what all you ordered. I feel like fast food's got the worst of that. Whenever I go to like McDonald's or Burger King, I always get shorted something, and I don't want to be I don't want to be that guy that's sitting there at the drive-thru opening the bag and making sure everything's there. But you almost have to anymore, and it's crazy. It's like, why can't we get it right the first time without me having to actually be that guy? But yeah, it's it is what it is. That's dope too, yeah. No, autograph sessions are awesome, and I've had the opportunity to both get an autograph face to face with Greg Biffle and Kevin Harvick within the last 2 years. I got Greg's signature last year, and I had Kevin Harvick this year on 4th of July. Jimmy Johnson, I actually got him to sign a Cup diecast at an IndyCar event in Portland. That was pretty cool. I almost didn't get it because I got in there and got to the back of the line, and they were starting to say that people might not get their autographs in because there were some guys that were just sitting there chit-chatting with all the IndyCar drivers like they were long-lost buddies. And it's like, well, there's a bunch of guys behind you that want to get in there and get their autographs. Hey, don't start spreading slander. Now, I might be able to make some AI video of that. I don't want that being spread around. We're back in racing, though. Lefty Turner takes the top spot. Joey Johnson in 2nd. Snake Plissken in 3rd. And a little bit of off strategy as they decided to stay out here. Not going to be too big of a difference, as it's only about 1 lap separating them. Sebastian falls back for the first time here. Lefty Turner looks to try and lead a lap, and he did. So Lefty Turner gets credited with a lap lead here. Look at that. No one's going to deny Sebastian. Gets back up there on the inside, moving around the 82 there. 3 wide all the way towards the back there. 2x2x2 to 3x3. This is getting into danger zone territory here. And this is where Talladega separates itself from the rest. All of the wide track racing, a lot of room to move, a lot of room to pass, a lot of room for mistake. Bobby Labonte's cool. I got to actually see him as a pedestrian once at IndyCar. He went and watched the IndyCar as a spectator. I was walking into the Portland race, and all of a sudden in the crowd, I was like, that guy looks familiar. And he was going through the ticket line like a normal spectator. Wasn't there on, anyone's credentials or anything. He just showed up, had his ticket ready, came through the check-through line, and was there to watch the IndyCar race with us. I thought that was pretty darn cool. 3 wide for 2nd place there. Here comes the number 10 of Justin Day 2, looking to try and take the lead away from the 95, Sebastian Galloway Jr. Man, the IndyCar experience was something else. Before I'd gone to very many NASCAR races. I've only been to 3 now. I'd already been to 3, I think maybe even 4 IndyCar races at Portland. And the ability to get access to hang out with like all the drivers right down on pit road can't be beat. You get to walk right by as they're working on their cars. You see, you know, the racers out there drinking a water bottle and you know, shooting the shit with all the teammates and crew members and stuff. And not very often do you get that experience at many of the NASCAR races, is what I've heard. And I think NASCAR has been trying to fix that and build upon that for a little bit better fan experience. But for sure, Portland, I was just going through all the tracks that were on my brain there. Portland has some of the best fan experience I've ever seen, I think. And I feel like some of the other tracks are picking up on that. Las Vegas I've been to twice, has definitely got that experience figured out a little bit better. Get right on down to pit road and watch the racing action right behind the pit boxes without any true credentials, which is pretty awesome. Well, there's a lot of shuffling. Now we are seeing the conveyor belt theory here at Talladega. After Sebastian led for the first 30-some laps, and now it's going to rotate all around the place here. Justin Day 2 led for a while, and now it's going to be the 44 of Chase Kovacic, which could be a very big buster in the points conversation, as you've got so many of your top runners shuffled back right now. Lap 44 of 123. We're about 1/3 of the way through the race here. Our second race in the chase for Bridge to Cup, full send to Cup. More pit stops are on the way. We definitely will have 2 more stops. But at the moment, I think the drivers just trying to get kind of sorted and settled, trying to figure out where to put themselves for the next move here at Talladega. I'm impressed that we've seen some new faces at the front now, some new laps led. Chase Kovacic gets the bonus points tied to leading a lap here. And it's all over the board right now. Nine lead changes. That's cool. I can actually follow along with the live stats on this new chart that I've got with our overlay. I would definitely put that event on my bucket list. It's a must do sometime in my lifetime. Go check out the American Speed Fest at Brands Hatch. I feel like that would be an experience right down my alley. How far back in the field? I missed it. I was reading the comments. Is it about the mid-pack here? We got a new leader going for it here, the 84, Santi Messi. Against all odds, though, I don't know. Santi Messi could win every single race here in the chase and still not win the title. Is how wild this championship situation is. The points are so tight up in the top 10 that even a winner each week, if the other guy just finished second right behind him all the way, which would be either Cannon Gage or Snake Plissken. If they continue to finish second, Santi Messi could win, and still not get that points lead wrangled away from the top dogs. If we're gonna rewind it, part of the track was it at? I'm kind of flying blind here. Maybe a replay worthy moment for another time. I'm not seeing enough. Oh, whoa, whoa, okay, there we go, there we go. Yeah, so that was our moment right there. Sorry. Teammates, it looks like the 17 and the 18 here. Teammates, oh, and they were clipped right into each other. Teammates getting at it there and getting into each other, and yet survive, but also merged into, they were apparently on pit road. Apparently that counts as pit road, because we have pit road collisions turned off with better cautions. So well, we survived a big one there. Could have been a big one at least. Snake Plissken, the race leader. Where in the heck did that come from? All of a sudden, when we were shuffling back, there were some big changes at the front of the field here. We saw Santi Messi lead. Now he's stuck 4 wide in the middle. They settle in and start working together again, but man, it's pretty wild out here at Talladega. A lot of movement, a lot of shuffling, a lot of positions changing hands in rapid succession. See, Cannon Gage has worked his way back up to 9th. Sebastian Galloway Jr. currently running in 18th. Joey Johnson is running 8th. Shy Turtle running in 4th. Santi Messi has fallen backwards to 21st. Ralph Oberstadt running in 23rd. Lefty Turner all the way up to 13th there. Krista Cower in 19th. Chase Kovacic running 22nd. Jordan in 12th. Points have been slightly edited here. Snake Plissken is led a lap now too, so those are bonus points to his name. Cannon Gage still looking to lead a lap here today. Lefty Turner with the lap lead. So yeah, there you go. The points should be up to date now on the bottom ticker, at least for that statement in time. Shy Turtle's up to 2nd already, so he's gained some more spots back up. And it's 4 wide for about 5th on back there. 40 of Jonah Burge gets stuck way up high there. We still haven't seen the big one yet. And they're racing like they want to make that happen, though. There's a lot of 4 wide, 3 wide, all over the place. This race, it's gonna be it's gonna come down to the wire on who gets the win here at Talladega. Trevor Vaden in the 18 is now up to 5th after dang near LePaging his teammate out of this race, the 17 of Jack Davis. So LFG Motorsports, even though they can't work together, somehow the 18 has found himself up there in a position to fight for a win here. Lefty Turner in second. That's going to be huge in the points conversation. Snake Plissken leading this thing means that he is, in fact, leading the points. He rolled in today with a 1-point lead over Cannon Gage. So all he had to do is maintain that consistency throughout the remaining races in the chase, and he can keep the points lead in his name. It's a lot. You know, there's a lot of racing left to go, and he could still make a mistake here or there. But we know the caliber of success that is Snake Plissken. He has been race winner multiple times this year, was a 4-race winner in ARCA last year, and he's really storming his way through the Sigma racing circuit to put himself in a conversation as one of the top dogs in talent. Definitely goes about it a different way than most. Likes to ruffle some feathers, get the drivers out there riled up. He does not make friends. He is in the true nickname of himself, the Outlaw. You can see on the nose of that Dodge Charger the Outlaw label on the grill, the nose of it there. He is the essential outlaw, very much in terms of everything that adds up here in the Sigma Bridge to Cup series. Well, we are reaching the halfway point here in a little while, and that means green flag pit stops are about to become a factor once again. Just some more 3 and 4 wide racing in the mid pack here. Nothing too flashy. There's a bit of a breakaway now as everyone's kind of slowed up here in that secondary group. I don't know what's going on there. So we got a 1 pack breakaway from the second pack here. And I wonder if they're starting to figure out establishing the next round of pit stops here. Trying to get lined out and figure out who their dancing partner is for pit stops, as those will be within the next 5 laps for sure. So awesome in NR2003 that we actually have a night version of Talladega. This is what dreams are made of. We need that to be a reality someday, to have Talladega with lights in the dark. And then we could actually reenact the true Talladega Nights movie to some degree. I remember one year in our Sigma Racing series that we actually did some more Talladega Nights inspired tribute cars out there. Usually when we came to Talladega like this, we only kept the naming kind of in honor of Talladega Nights with the Shake and Bake 319 here today. But there's always an opportunity for future Talladega races that we can do some fun throwbacks, some true Talladega Nights, you know, tribute schemes and whatnot. Wait, what is the name of the autodrome? Is that the actual name of the racetrack? Oh, I thought you said it is, but you said if it's. Share in general chat like a Wikipedia link to the actual track so I can look into it. Maybe they have one for NR2003. My only deal is hopefully if it has enough stalls to host a big field for our Cup Series. I'm kind of lenient. I'm hoping to, you know, run big races, but at the same time, I'm open to some tracks with smaller pit ratios and whatnot, because like Tri-City Raceway, that's a track that only has 30 pit stalls. And we're going to be racing that this year, just a little while in the next month. Wow, 8 of Campbell Marsh had to pit. Now he's about to go a lap down. Lots of strategy unfolding here. Your leaders are going to blow around him. Still no big wreck here today. Everyone's racing and minding their P's and Q's, putting on a good show. Pit stops are happening, kind of scattered pit stops. 2 of your title contenders, the 8 and the 98, making their pit stops on the undercut early here. And I think what you're seeing now is the folks that had pitted on the caution are able to stay out a little bit longer. I'm surprised Snake Plissken is able to stay out as long as he did, because he stayed out when everyone else pitted under caution. This absolutely blows my mind that Eli the Wolf, who has been consistently tracking dead last every week, and here he is up to second, fighting for a race win. Goes to show you that these tracks really do not make a difference. You could be BJ McLeod with the slowest car in the field, show up to Daytona or Talladega and actually have a shot to win it. So that is realism. That is true reality, kind of simulated in NR 2003, almost to a T. When you've got the reality of Daytona and Talladega being the true wild card, as they always are, we're seeing it once again here with Sigma Bridge to Cup. Lap traffic, holding them up. Pit stops happening for Snake Plissken and a couple others there, dipping down pit road. So we're racing to the next competition caution as we have 60 laps left to go. We've passed the halfway point at 62 and we're rolling as it's getting down to the nitty gritty now. Eli the Wolf looking like he might try to lead a lap here. Impressive. Yeah, he's going to end up leading a lap for sure as this group stays out a little bit longer. And it's going to be a requirement for at least one more stop here today at Talladega, as everyone that's made it to this point will have to pit stop one more time to make it 30 and 30. What's impressive is Sebastian leading the first 33 laps of this race, and no one else is even in the same ballpark. Snake Plissken has led 14, but Sebastian at 33 has kind of got that lead most under a nice cushion at the moment. It would take Snake to lead basically the last half of this race. Well, and I know that we're trying to figure out a way to make some more iRacing stuff happen, so we might have to look into seeing if it's a track available on iRacing. Knowing that iRacing is actually giving more support for Euro NASCAR development in the game, who knows, maybe the track's available there too. Alrighty. More of your field, half of your lead group here dip down pit road as the rest stay out another lap with 57 laps to go. Chase Kovacic, your leader at the moment. followed by Eli the Wolf and the likes. That's Sebastian coming off his pit stop here, right behind Cannon Gage. And Shy Turtle a little bit further ahead. It is scattered, it's mixed all throughout the field here. Everyone making varied and different pit stops. Whoa, the 16 of Jeffrey Gerald. That's some Canadian on Canadian crime as they bumped into each other there. Everyone that's pitting, cycling to the bottom, getting out of the line of your racers that have pitted already. So now it looks like just about everyone's going to be making their pit stops here. As they come off the racetrack, here they are. They're going to meet back up with your other group that have pitted already. And it's going to be the 19 of Alan Malcolm, I think, charging back to the race lead here. Wow, some of your folks were able to remain up front even after a late race pit stop. 44 of Chase Kovacic keeps the lead as he's now a sitting duck up front, but he was able to pit and keep the lead somehow. And the 35 Cat Durham right ahead of him, your race leader actually. Pit stops, pit strategy worked out to perfection there. As we are going to throw our second competition caution here at Talladega. Full cycle of pit stops. Once again, 2 green flag segments of pit stops here today. Big one still lurking somewhere in the corner. We don't know when, we don't know if, but it's always a possibility. Chase Kovacic with the lead here at the caution period. So let us update those points as they run right now. Snake Plissken running in 4th. Cannon Gage running in, wow, way at the back, 25th. Sebastian Galloway Jr. running in 23rd. Joey Johnson up to 13th. Shy Turtle running in 24th. 84 of Santi Messi running in 20th. Ralph running in 12th. Lefty Turner up to 2nd. Holy cow. Krista Cower all the way back to 31st. Ouch. 1 lap down at the moment, too. Chase Kovacic leading the race. Campbell Marsh running 26th. Cam Jordan 22nd. Snake Plissken still your points leader, and Cannon Gage giving up a lot of points with 25th at the moment. But how about Lefty Turner moving up to 5th in the points there with his 2nd place at the moment. Santi Messi falls back 2 spots to 7th. And the rest of them as they are in the running order. Cam Jordan still dead last. Well, pit stops happened again here, and it shuffled those points once again. So let's check that out real quick. Sebastian in 28th. There you have it. Points rescored here. As they're under caution, we're getting ready for the restart. Chase Kovacic highest up in the running order all the way, leading this thing. Santi Messi, the next title contender, running in 11th. Nope, no one is wrecked yet. No wrecks to be noted. Only a mild scare between teammates. The 17 and 18 nearly wrecked each other on turn 1, but we continued on without any concern, any problems. So well, the lights are off on the pace car, and we're going to get back and rolling here. Should be a good second half of the race here. 50 laps to go. We know that everyone's going to be racing to about 20 to go for those last rounds of pit stops. Alrighty, doubled up for the restart. You have Chase Kovacic, Ryan Little, followed by Alan Malcolm, Finley Herwig, Eli the Wolf, and Justin Day2. Billy Lovejoy, and the number 85 there of Timothy Buchanan, the 40 of Jonah Burge, and the 27 of Adam Starr. What's going to happen with 50 laps left to go here? 2 cautions, 4 comp caution, getting the field basically bunched back up together. Here we go. 50 laps remain. Who's going to get the win here today at Talladega in the Shake and Bake 319? Shy Turtle wasting no time trying to pass on the high side. That is legal, but also kind of an aggressive move, trying to make up spots right on the restart, right around the outside. He knows he's got the faster car, needs to make the ground up while he can, but might be a tough pass to make happen. As always, Talladega, one of those tracks where you just have to be in the right place at the right time at the end of one of these suckers. And this is where you can start kind of moving those chess pieces to really set yourself up for success. We know that the race, you know, could have a big one, but we could also be surprised with the lack thereof, as that sometimes happens. We know that it gets a little bit more amped up the further we get to the finish line here, so there's surely going to be at least one wreck. You're probably thinking of Alexander Rossi. I remember him being the number 27 Napa car at one time. Ralph Oberstadt, and look at that, Sebastian making his way back through the field. It's been a tough stretch here for him to get back up there, fight for the win, but he is climbing once again into the top 10. And now back up into the top 5 right there alongside Silent Amethyst. Sebastian takes over 5th from her. Inside line is where you want to be, and they're going to make it 3 wide for 2nd place. Sebastian drives on the inside of the 2 orange cars as another orange car leads the way, Jonah Burridge and Sebastian Galloway Jr., the top 2 at the moment. And Sebastian not wasting any time. He wants to lead some more laps here and rack up the lead most laps bonus. If the amount of laps led he can get matches the amount of laps left to go in the race, he'll have it tied up. So right now sitting at 34 laps led. If he can lead another 10 laps, he will have it tied up here today at Talladega. And even if not, as long as no one else with the lap led credit gets up there to lead, that's close. The more laps he leads, the easier it'll be for him to tie it up here. Maybe even sooner. There's a lot going on in the background there, and I don't know where to start following along because there's so much action here at Talladega. Definitely want to be on that inside line. Looks like Tim Morrison, the far back there, without any draft help, he's going to fall backwards and fall back to a lap down again here. Sebastian back to the lead, though. We know that he has the speed to do it here today. He's proven that with pole position and laps led. He's going to have to close it down. Guaranteed at least one more caution along the horizon here, whether that's for an accident or for comp caution status with green flag pit stops. Snake is driving like a madman, possessed to get back to the front. With the top 5 at the moment, we know that that means he is your points leader once again. All he has to do is keep a top 7, and he keeps that points lead no matter what happens behind or ahead of him. I'm impressed here with Campbell Marsh, the super speedway ringer. He had 2 back-to-back wins at 2 super speedways this year, Armory Digital and Daytona, to start out the Bridge to Cup season, and has been mostly unsatisfactory for the rest of the year. But for whatever reason, shows up to these super speedway tracks ready to win. Sebastian leads, but here comes Snake Plissken. Look at Ryan White, the ARCA champion from a few years back, looking on the inside of the 81. Battle for 2nd place, and look at the 99 Shy Turtle, the 28 of Billy Lovejoy. Some big storylines moving to the front here. boy. We got a wreck waiting to happen. 4 wide in the middle of the pack here. That's getting ugly. The 27, the 15, and the 44 kind of bump into each other there, but we keep it rolling clean and green for now. That kind of got things a little bit destabilized as the 98's trying to block 3 lines of traffic. The 99 of Shy Turtle going for the race lead here with 42 laps left to go. There you have it. New race leader, Shy Turtle, takes the top spot here, putting the 95 behind him. That's probably the most drama we've had here. That big shuffle there where they were 4 wide and falling backwards with 40 laps to go now. Everyone's going to be hoping that that scare was maybe the potential big one averted here today. But like I said, it's waiting around every corner. You can't be safe any waking moment here at Talladega. Built on the Indian burial grounds in the area of Talladega, Alabama. There's a lot of spooky stuff that happens here, so do not count yourself safe until that white flag checkered is waving. Looks like they're catching back up. That second group didn't fall too far behind as they're continuing to shuffle it up here at the front. Billy Lovejoy led that last lap, so he's credited with a lap led there. We have 2 very distinct groups at the moment. 3 wide for the race lead. Here comes Sebastian Galloway Jr. with a good push from Snake Plissken. It's getting good here. We're getting into the nitty-gritty. 40 laps left to go. 1 more round of pit stops still to be determined. And for the drivers, what they're hoping for is that we can at least stay green for the next 10 laps to put that window into perspective, that we will have 30 laps and open the window for pit stops so they don't have to worry about fuel after that. Getting down to that 29 to go and making the pit stops, you should be safe from any fuel mileage concerns at the end of this race. At the moment, Sebastian has led 40 laps. There's 39 laps to go. The only guy that could beat him for lead most laps today is if Snake Plissken gets by him and leads every other lap to the finish line here. But Sebastian's going to spread that gap a little further apart with another lap led in the books here. And I don't think Snake's going to have that same success that the 95 has had, dominantly leading at the front of the field here today. Timothy Buchanan up in the top 5 once again. That 85 machine having a good run. KGA Racing, they've had a good day so far because Finley Herwig's in the mix as well. Snake Plissken set that fast lap and no one else has been able to touch it. We've had 26 lead changes here today. We've only had 2 cautions that were comp cautions thrown by the officials during green flag pit stop runs. Cam Jordan back up in the top 5 again as well. Three wide for 5th place, about to happen right there. Not as dangerous as 4 wide in that turn 1 fiasco that we saw just a handful of laps back. Wow, they might try to make it 4 wide still going into turn 3. 3 wide for now. 4 wide with your one of your top contenders, 95. Sebastian gets stuck way up high there. And he's just desperately looking for that window to open up so he can get back down to the bottom. And there it is. He gets back down, but look who's leading the race. Snake Plissken to the top spot. Like I said, if he leads every lap going forward here, he could actually lead enough laps to get lead most lap bonus here today. So Sebastian not out of the woods on that bonus, but it's definitely not an easy one for Snake Plissken to reel in here. Points have not been updated for quite some time, as Cannon Gage struggling here at the end of Talladega. I don't know if he's maybe playing a strategy game to maybe save his stuff for the last late race restart here today, but currently trapped all the way back in 28th, and it'll be kind of touch and go here to see where the rest of your title contenders shake out by the end of this thing. And it's not like his car's bad, he's just stuck back with the slow group, it seems like, and has not been able to make up some ground that's needed to fight with the leaders here. Whoa, the 74 gave Sebastian a bit of a nudge there. Non-title contenders roughing it up with the title contenders is always kind of a gray area there. But he did it, and it could have been ugly, but Sebastian keeps rolling. Lap traffic holds up the inside line there. 74 of Moger thought about making a big move there and kind of laid off for the moment. Absolutely wild that we've gone caution-free well, not caution-free, but big wreck-free through the entire race here. Well, Sebastian is about ready to tie up lead most laps here today. The difference is not going to be enough for Snake Plissken to make that difference up. Once we get down to 26 laps left to go, he will have that honor tied up here today. Big bonus, 3 bonus points for leading the most laps. 2 points if you lead at least 1 lap. And for Sebastian, the three bonus points for pole position also. So he's got 8 bonus points for if a win were to be in the conversation. 58 points on the day is something impressive. Very few people actually are able to pull off that fantastic feat, and he could get the job done here. Looks like some more of your chase drivers cycling to the front as Cam Jordan in 8th, Shy Turtle in 12th, Chase Kovacic in 14th, and Ralph Oberstadt in 16th. That would make 10 of your 12 in the top 20. 9 of your 12, my bad. Cannon Gage, Lefty Turner, 27th, 28th, and Krista Cower is now 3 laps down in 31st. Silent Amethyst with an engine failure. Where does she blow it up at? Let's see. Oh, wow, okay, right in front. So there's oil down on track for sure. Sigma officials gonna throw the caution here with 29 to go. Blown engine by the 15, trailing oil. Tough break for her. She's trying to make it to the finish here. Blown engine on the 15, and we're under caution for the 3rd time here at Talladega. With 28 laps to go, that'll open that final pit stop scenario wide open, as everyone's going to make their last pit stop here, and they should be good to go to the finish. Alrighty, I'm back. It looks like after the points are updated here under caution, Cam Jordan, your race leader. And another movement here is we have Snake Plissken gaining some spots from a pit stopper. Shy Turtle up to 10th. Kovacic up to 11th. Santi Messi up to 12th. And then it is Campbell Marsh in 14th now. Sebastian Galloway Jr. up to 15th. Ralph Oberstadt running in 17th. 18th belonging to Joey Johnson. Lefty Turner in 25th. Cannon Gage all the way back to 28th. What in the world? Made a pit stop again. His pit stops are very erratic and different. I don't know if that's a strategy call or what, but they're making some very wild and crazy stabs at strategy here today to see if they can try to shake it up. So points updated now showing with Cam Jordan, the race leader, he still is not out of dead last in the points with 1,428 points to his name. It's going to take a legitimate miracle to make something happen here for him. Maybe some bad luck from the rest of his contenders to really start closing that gap on the overall points lead. We'll get doubled up with 24 laps to go. Everyone's got the fuel to make it to the distance. Snake Plissken, your points leader. Sebastian second. Cannon Gage third. Shy Turtle fourth. And Santi Messi fifth. And some extra laps under caution here as they got things sorted out. It seemed like it took a little bit longer to get everything figured out during this caution period. But that just gives us a better short track shootout here with 23 laps to go when we go back to green. Some big names that could potentially get their first win this season based on how they're running right now. This could get good. So a lot of your chase contenders are going to be striving to get a lot better result than where they're currently residing. So yeah, top three stayed out. That's going to be interesting to see if they... Whoa, 74 mechanical failure by Andrew Moger here. That's going to move the inside lineup one spot completely. What happened with... Oh, there's more mechanical failures. 68 out of fuel maybe on the restart here. What in the world was all of that? Holy cow, that's... bizarre. If those three truly stayed out, there was a bad call for them to stay out. Wow, no, I think the 68 just got screwed by the 19 there. A pair of maybe fuel-related incidences where they ran out of fuel there on the restart. What a weird mistake. Sigma's going to throw caution again for that one. That's not standard restart. They're waving off that restart. Yeah, 74 is out of fuel. The 19 out of fuel. The 40's dropping like he's out of fuel too. What in the world's going on here? Well, maybe we get a race now known as Fuelgate. This is some of the weirdest NASCAR Racing 2003 behavior I have ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen a race where you had all these cars run out of fuel on the restart. That's like a serious mechanical error if you ask me. That's not pit crew. That ain't standard. That's way weird. I knew they were going to be tight on fuel, but I didn't think they were going to be that tight on fuel. Wow. Well, I think your leaders have made their decision now that they're probably going to pit and top it off with some fuel just to be safe. Looks like everyone's committed on the inside line here, knowing that it's very possible that others are going to run out of fuel before the end of this race too. Well, they stay out. I am mistaken. Absolutely no one pits. But they're kind of gravitating towards the bottom like they're trying to save fuel. I've seen this before in real life where they run right at the apron to try and keep the fuel in the reception area of the fuel tank. Alrighty, we're going to try again. And we still got cars stalled on the racetrack here, the 74 and the 19. We just got to wait till they disappear on the tow truck, because there's not much else I can do about removing them from the racetrack. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to get back rolling here, but I wonder if the pace lights are going to come back on. Lights are still off. 74 is going to get the tow truck right there. This is like cutting edge right here, folks. I don't know how they get right onto pit road and they save us the trouble. Staying green, back to green as quickly as we can here. Well, that was a shakeup and a half. Now up to second. Ralph Oberstadt back in the mix here, looking for a win. How about some of the other names from our title contenders right up there in the top 10? Chase Kovacic, Santi Messi, Campbell Marsh, Shy Turtle. Sebastian's right on the outside in 11th, looking in. Well, the field's shrunk a little bit here, it looks like, but we're going to get back rolling with 20 laps left to go. Double zeros on pit road. That's not going to be a problem for us, as we will stay on the restart path here. We're rolling. Green flag a waving here again. 20 laps to go. Ralph Oberstadt, your race leader, he gets a lap lead. That's a credit to him for a bonus point. And we can already confirm Sebastian Galloway Jr. gets that lead most laps bonus here today, Talladega. And this is kind of where you made your bed. You've got to fight for the win now and be in the right place at the right time as the laps tick away here at Talladega. And there's a lot of folks pitting. I'm wondering on the fuel window there. I don't know why they didn't pit under caution. 82, the 35, the 55, the 1. Those are some title contenders. And this group here kind of separate from the lead group, but they're still working together, trying to get a draft established. Maybe waiting in the background to avoid the big one. If we get a big wreck here, just kind of minding their P's and Q's. Snake Plissken, not always touted as he's usually the aggressive one, so it's kind of out of the ordinary for him to be sitting back and playing it safe. So we'll see how that turns out, if he gets his lucky break or if he's just going to fall back and settle in line for a top 20 finish here. Well, as we can, I'm going to go ahead and Cannon Gage is running 10th, so that's a big change in points for him. Sebastian running in 2nd. Joey Johnson is outside the top 20. He is all the way back in 24th. Shy Turtle running in 6th. Santi Messi leading this thing. Ralph Oberstadt running in 7th. Lefty Turner running in 25th. Krista Cower running in 28th. Chase Kovacic 14th. Campbell Marsh running in 11th. Cam Jordan 65 is running in 9th. update the live points as you can see now. Sebastian Galloway Jr. would be your points leader by 2 points over Cannon Gage. And Snake Plissken would fall back to third. Santi Messi still sitting only in fourth in the points. These are the group that pitted. They're going to play a bit of a wild card in the mix here, as your leaders are going to have to deal with them. How fitting, Sebastian running second. We know that he has been bridesmaid more times than not this year, and he's still yet to taste sweet victory here in the Bridge to Cup Series. I'm thinking I'm up to like jinx counter number 16, so might as well say number 17 as I'm bringing it up here right now with 16 laps left to go. I'm sure he'll remind me of that ticker here in a minute. But look at that, 4 wide with your leaders and lap traffic almost. They settle back into 3 wide, but this is getting ugly. Your leaders having to deal with some very dense traffic here in the closing lap. Santi Messi, Sebastian Galloway Jr., that is a rivalry unlike any other. But the wild part is Santi Messi won the last race. He just won at Meridian yesterday, and he's rolling today on a high note as well, trying to lead at the end here with 15 laps remaining. But it would not be enough because the guy that's running second to him is the points leader, and Santi Messi, it'd still be nearly a 50-point spread. Here we go. Fight for the lead. Sarah Taylor makes it 3 wide with your leaders there, pushing them to the high side. Sarah Taylor going for the race lead here today at Talladega. She has not yet led a lap, so this would be lap lead number 1 if she can get to the line. Looks like Ryan Little's going to try to stop her from leading the race. Ryan Little in the 21 for Jaw Drop Motorsports. Here he is charging the lead. Steals the lap lead from Sarah Taylor. She does not get that on her right at the line. Oh wait, the 21's a lap down, my bad. Holy cow, that's where it kind of threw me for a curveball. Sarah Taylor did get the lap lead. And now your new race leader is the 28 of Billy Lovejoy. The lap traffic is slowing their pace down a little bit. Oh, we got another car blowing up in the background. 44, Chase Kovacic, another blown engine. That is another caution here today. We're going to go back under yellow with 14 laps to go. Oil down on the track. And just when you thought that we were getting to the finish line, you got to reset and recoup once again here tonight. Race leader Trevor Vaden over Sarah Taylor. It's going to be a quick caution. We get the oil dry out there and get it cleaned up pretty quickly here. Tough break for another title contender. That is the 44 of Chase Kovacic, who was in the top 15. Blown engine retired out of the race. That engine failure will retire him back to, looks like 30th. So a 30th place finish for one of our title contenders. That's going to be a huge hit in the points. Well, it's getting good now, folks. Okay, points have been updated once again. As they run, Cannon Gage has a 6-point lead over Sebastian Galloway Jr. and a 7-point lead over Snake Plissken. Santi Messi in 4th, Shy Turtle in 5th, Ralph Oberstadt in 6th. A lot of that can still change here as we will have at least one more restart. Green-white checkers enabled if need be. Trevor Vaden looking to try and make up for a dismal season where he's not yet won a race here in Bridge to Cup. Could he potentially steal the show here at the end? Is Cannon Gage running out of fuel? What's going on there with the number 2? That secondary group has not got back up to your lead group here. I don't know what's the holdup here, but if they don't get up there in time, they might be sitting ducks, or maybe they're playing the rollback game to try and get as much momentum built to really catch up to the leaders here. Kind of an odd scenario at hand there. I don't know why they didn't get bunched up a little bit tighter, but they're up to speed a little bit faster. Look at that. That is kind of a shady strategy there to get rolling. That's some Kyle Busch-esque level stuff. Remember in the All-Star race sometime in the past that Kyle Busch did that, where he purposely laid back, waited till they waved the green flag, and was already rolling twice as fast as your leaders because he wanted to get a good run with a damaged car. Can't remember if that was an all-star race or if that was like the Clash when they had it at Daytona, but I definitely remember a moment like that sticking out. So here we are, 11 laps to go. The field getting savvy to some new strategies here today, and the entire pack all bundled up in one huge blanket here. Sebastian on the inside with a good push here from Ralph Oberstadt, rolling through the turns. 10 laps to go. Sarah Taylor leads over Trevor Vaden. 2 potentially new winners on the season. But look at that, Cam Jordan, super speedway star. Here he is in the top 5, but 95 wants to go to the race lead. Here comes Sebastian Galloway Jr. It's hard when you're on that outside lane. If you can't get down low and fight for the win here, it's going to be a tough day. Hard road ahead if you can't get inside in these closing laps. You can still make up a big gain if you get to that inside line and start charging, but the further up on the high side you are, the harder it's going to be to win this race here with 9 laps left to go. Sebastian leads over the 3 of Ralph Oberstadt, but is he potentially now a sitting duck? We don't have any other lap cars to deal with except for the 98. And we're going to go ahead and just DQ her. Yeah, it sucks. You're title contender. We just don't want anything to happen with our leaders that could potentially ruin this race. Championship forward move by the officials to DQ the already slow and multiple lap down Krista Cower. She was 4 laps down, and we give her the black flag to go home. So that only means that our top 20 here, who are all on the lead lap, are fighting for the win. Lefty Turner trapped a lap down somewhere in the midst of all of this chaos here today in the lead group. Actually, everyone here in the lead group is the entirety of the top 28. We only have 20 of them on the lead lap, so it's mixed in there with some lap traffic that never got back on the lead lap here today. And just some bad pit stops or mechanical failures that shuffled them out, fell a lap down. I think that was when they made that pit stop. So they are fighting for position, but they do not have the lead lap. Which is a plus for some of these drivers because that means they know that they can't finish any worse than 20th with the cars that are trapped laps down right now racing in there alongside of them. Jonah Burridge leads this race over Ralph Oberstadt, Ryan Little in 3rd, Timothy Buchanan in 4th, and Finley Herwig. KGA Racing has a top 5 outfit at the moment. Buchanan on that Hyundai, driving on the inside there. 19 of Alan Malcolm, a lap down. 6 laps left to go. We're reeling it in here at the end. 85 of Buchanan up to second. A little bit of lap traffic around him there. And look at that. They're going to go to the high side. This might be a big move, as the lap traffic on the inside line might be holding them up a little bit. 5 laps to go this time by. Snake Plissken not really able to make up the ground he was hoping for. He's up to 10th though. He's starting to close in on the lead group here. And that could get him back that points lead that he had rolling into Talladega here today. Burridge is going to get passed by the lapped car. That could open the window here for the 85 of Timothy Buchanan. Still no big wrecks here today. I'm amazed. We can actually go through a Talladega race without the big one. Is something to be seen, and that's a major feat if we can still pull this off. There's plenty of carnage that could still unfold here. Look at that, 4 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide again, with your title contenders in the midst of that. 95 Sebastian going way back here now. He's in trouble. Yeah, it's getting a little bit feisty now. Those that are on the inside line are where they want to be at the end of this race. It's getting good. You can see the ground ahead of you. With only 3 laps left to go and plenty of track space, you could get something done in 3 laps from 20th place. 80, or no, that's the 45, Sarah Taylor back to the top spot. 81 gets shuffled out on the high side. And look at that inside line starting to work back into the picture here. Tough break for Sebastian Galloway Jr. Had a great run, leading most laps, fighting for the win, and now he's shuffled all the way back outside the top 15. This time by down to 2 to go. Look at that, Cannon Gage up into the top 10 here. He is charging late at the end of this run. Of your title contenders, you've got 6 in the top 10 right there, right for the grabbing. But they have to fight with a pair of non-title contenders, the likes of Sarah Taylor and the 28 of Billy Lovejoy. Here they are, 3 wide for second. 55 cuts on the inside of Cannon Gage. That's going to sit him up in the middle lane. That's not where you want to be with the white flag about to wave here. Cannon Gage has an opening, but it closes up really quickly. Here comes Finley Herwig on a late race charge, back from the back again. We might be wrecking on the last lap. Who knows? 65, Cam Jordan leads the race. Here goes Ralph Oberstadt sticking his nose in there. He's going to go for the race lead. But is he going to be a sit and duck? Is it going to be too early to make this big move? As he gets ahead of the 65, that could leave him a sitting duck in the race lead. In the background, you can see them all 3, 4 wide, deep in the field. A wreck waiting to happen, but I don't think we're going to get it. Here we are rolling around the last turn here today. Ralph Oberstadt has the lead. What's going to happen once they come down the start-finish line, the straightaway, the longest to the finish line? It's going to feel like a century. Here comes the 8 of Campbell Marsh, side by side, nose to nose. 3's going to fall behind, and that's going to be the 8 of Campbell Marsh getting his 3rd Superspeedway win here in 2026. Besting Ralph Oberstadt by a hair there, man. Ralph had it, just didn't have the momentum, didn't have the ability to keep the lead, as Campbell Marsh blows by for the race win here today. big shakeup in the points, as most of your top dogs did not have as good of a finish as they hoped for at the end. So today kind of hits the reset button to some degree, because I think it's only going to tighten our points battle conversation up a little tighter here. So let me get the points tallied up real quick here. Cannon Gage brought it home 13th. Sebastian still was able to bring it home. Ouch. Ouch. Where did he fall back? 14th. Joey Johnson with a 22nd. Shy Turtle with a 7th place finish, not bad. Santi Messi bringing it home 12th. Not a blown up car there at the end. Ralph bringing it home 2nd. Lefty Turner bringing it home 24th. Krista Cower 29th. Chase Kovacic 30th. Campbell Marsh was able to win the damn thing. Cam Jordan bringing it home 4th. Those are all your drivers from the back kind of stealing the show here. Campbell Marsh led 1 lap, and that was the last lap to get the job done here. Ralph Oberstadt led a lap. Cam Jordan led a lap. Krista Cower, did she ever lead? No. Shy Turtle, did Shy Turtle ever lead? Yes, he did. And Cannon Gage, did he lead a lap? No. Okay. So as the point cycle there at the bottom, watch it reset here. So we roll out of here. Snake Plissken still the points leader by 1 point over Cannon Gage. That didn't change. They managed to gain the same amount of points here tonight and still roll out with a 1 point difference between the two of them. That doesn't happen very often. They basically finished in the same ballpark. Cannon Gage actually got more points today. No, Snake Plissken's lap lead actually was a wash. They both made up the same points here today. Cannon Gage with 27, Snake Plissken with 25. But the bonus points kind of flatten that out. As you can see, 27 for leading the lap, Snake Plissken at 27 and Cannon Gage at 27. So it's going to be good, folks. This title hunt is every week is going to be edge of your seat craziness. It's going to be right down to the wire in this full Cinda Cup, Bridge to Cup title, as I don't know who's going to be able to top the other guy at the end of the year. Talladega did not disappoint. Campbell Marsh still somehow figuring out a way to stay alive in the championship here with a win today. That's as good of a day as you can get. And still at the back end of the field for points, but now he's starting to kind of close in and make this interesting scenario for sure. Up to 9th in the points. If he gets another win here or there, he could be in the topic for something big. And even Cam Jordan reeling in the contenders in the background there as well. So well, I'm excited for the next race on the calendar already. It's going to be good. It's getting exciting. I really, really think this is going to be the best championship season of Bridge to Cup yet, as we've got so much on the line, so many great drivers. The field is stacked. It feels like an all-star league here. mad kudos to Campbell Marsh, stunning the field here with the last lap pass for the win. And it only makes it more interesting as we get ready for the next race on the calendar. It's either going to be Tri-City Raceway or Charlotte. We'll figure out which one's coming next before long, but it'll be sometime next week or later on in August here. So thanks again, folks, for tuning into the race here. Hopefully enjoyed it. That was a wild race here today at Talladega. We got to watch a last lap pass for the win. Dang near got to see a photo finish. Ralph Oberstadt comes up just short of getting the win here, which would have been his second win of the season. But instead, it was Ralph Oberstadt getting bested by Campbell Marsh for his third win on the season, all of which have come on super speedways. He's finished the trifecta of super speedways with Armory Digital Superspeedway, Daytona Superspeedway, and now winning it at Talladega. Ricky Raceway is the only one that got away because Cam Jordan ended up winning that one. But Super Speedway star this year, Campbell Marsh, gets the job done 3 times. So hopefully I'll have a great week. Stay safe out there, and see you in the next stream. Congratulations yet again on the win on Campbell Marsh, and we'll see you in the next race. Have a great one, folks. Stay safe, and we'll see you next